Now, James, with Rashford gone, what about the other outgoings that we're expecting at Manchester United?
Yeah, well, look, with Manchester United, we've known all summer that there were 5 players who were told to keep away from pre-season training, to search for a future away from Old Trafford. 1 now has gone in Marcus Rashford joining Barcelona. The other 4 on your screen behind you still remain. Let's start with Alejandro Garnacho, just 21 years old. He's got a contract until 2028. Huge potential. Argentina international already, but Ruben Amorim has made it clear the future isn't for him at Old Trafford. Now, we know Chelsea were interested in the player and are still interested in the player, but they have signed a player like Jamie Gittins, very similar mould of a player. Doesn't totally rule Chelsea out, but likely scenario if Chelsea come back in is that they sell some of their current crop of players. Aston Villa, another club, remaining interested. Thing with Garnacho is that Manchester United signed him for very little as a youngster. So regardless of what profit they make, it's going to be big profit, which they can then use to reinvest in the squad. So even if, say, they valued this player around like 60, 70 million at the start of the year, and maybe that's dropped to, say, 40 million pounds, it's still, they'll see it as pretty good business. So Alejandro Garnacho is one of those players still surplus to requirements at United, but he's not the only one, is he?
Yeah. James mentioned about Garnacho and Chelsea. Well, we know that Jadon Sancho was at Chelsea last season on loan. They didn't take up the obligation to buy, so Manchester United received a £5 million penalty fee from Chelsea because they didn't take up the obligation. United still want to release Jadon Sancho. They want to sell him on a permanent deal, if at all possible. Dialogue is open between Juventus and Manchester United over the potential signing of Jadon Sancho, as it is between Jadon Sancho's representatives and Juventus. Now, Juventus are working on sales before they can do a deal for Sancho, because their big priority in this window was to sign Francisco Conceição from Porto. They've effectively done that now. But to bring in someone like Sancho, one or both of Timothy Weah and Nicolas Gonzalez would have to be sold for them to be able to go into the market again to bring in someone like Jadon Sancho. If it doesn't happen, because there's still a big doubt whether he will end up at Juventus, there are a number of other clubs in Europe who are interested in Jadon Sancho. But Manchester United want to get this deal done sooner rather than later.
He's not the only one. Antony's another one that United would rather sell. They want to sell him. Remember, he went on loan to Real Betis last season. Performed really well. Performed well in that Conference League final defeat, albeit to Chelsea too. Actually had a promising spell, showed signs of what sort of player he was. But this is a tricky one for Manchester United. It's a player they paid £82 million for. He's still got 2 years left of his contract. They know the future's not at Old Trafford for him. Real Betis are keen to bring him back, but they are struggling to meet United's demands for a permanent transfer. They would prefer to bring him on loan for another season. United want the permanent transfer. Atletico Madrid are a club that are monitoring the situation, but they have other priorities at the moment, so they might just keep an eye and see where that goes to. Just one other player as well, Terrell Malacia. Now, look, he's a left-footed player. Now, that sounds so basic in terms of giving a description of a player, but there is a huge demand for left-sided players in this transfer window. So I have no doubts that Manchester United will have offers for his services in this window.
Manchester United are working hard behind the scenes on a deal to bring Javi Guerra to Old Trafford after strong reports in the Spanish media claim the midfielder has green-lighted the move, and with the Red Devils closing on an agreement with Valencia, we have taken a look at what he could bring to Ruben Amorim's midfield. The Red Devils finally sought the breakthrough they were waiting for this week after confirming the signing of Bryan Mbeumo in a £71 million, €82 million, $95.6 million deal from Brentford. Signing a 5-year deal with the option of a sixth, the 25-year-old Cameroon international became Manchester United's second senior summer signing after Matheus Cunha, and fifth in total after the captures of teenagers Diego Leon, Harley Emsden-James, and Enzo Canabic. The arrival of Mbeumo also clears the path for United to proceed with the rest of their summer business. And while much will very much hinge on player sales, David Ornstein has revealed Amorim has 3 major priorities to work on before the window closes for business, with a goalkeeper, a deep-lying midfielder and a new striker to lead the line next on the transfer agenda. In light of a new midfielder, Amrim's need has intensified in the wake of Christian Eriksen's departure at the end of last season and with Casemiro now entering the final 12 months of his contract. The Brazilian, while showing signs of improvement under Amorim, has largely struggled to replicate the sort of form that made him one of his generation's most respected central midfielders. With that in mind, a report over the weekend revealed United had reached a verbal agreement with Valencia star Guerra over a move to Old Trafford. Now, multiple reports in Spain claim that push to bring Guerra to Old Trafford is intensifying to the point where there is now a strong optimism that a deal can very quickly be concluded. First up, Marca claims Guerra has rejected Valencia's offer of a new deal with his current arrangement due to expire in summer 2027. They claim the 22-year-old and his camp feel that the proposal doesn't fit their needs and they expect something better. As a result, and with Valencia now prepared to sell the star this summer to maximize his value, journalist Sebastian Vidal, writing on X, claims Guerra has now given the green light to move to Old Trafford. Despite interest from elsewhere, and with the Red Devils keen to wrap up a deal quickly, Manchester United are in a strong position to make Benjamin Sesko their new centre-forward amid promising updates over their pursuit of the RB Leipzig ace. Man United have been searching for a new number 9 in recent months as Ruben Amorim does not believe Rasmus Højlund has what it takes to fire them to major silverware. The Red Devils held talks with Liam Delap but were ultimately rejected as he opted to join Chelsea instead, due to them having Champions League football. Amorim hoped to reunite with his former Sporting CP star Victor Gyökeres at Old Trafford, but Arsenal are due to sign him in a €73.5 million, £64 million deal instead. Sesko has since emerged as a top target for United. They have been keeping tabs on his development for several years and feel this summer is the perfect time to bring him to the Premier League. In an interview with Court Offside, Bild journalist Christian Falk has revealed that Arsenal moving for Gyökeres has paved the way for Sesko to join United. Falk also confirmed that United's head of recruitment Christopher Vivell has given the transfer his endorsement as he is spearheading the move, having worked with Sesko at Leipzig. When one door closes, another opens. Arsenal have withdrawn their pursuit of Benjamin Sesko, which creates an opportunity for Manchester United. The reporter said the Red Devils weren't in the front row for the club and player. However, there's a key executive involved in all of this, Christopher Vivell. He's previously worked for RB Leipzig and is now supporting the potential deal. Vivell's also been watching the situation develop since April. He was at the match between Leipzig and Wolfsburg to scout Sesko again. The striker, 22, is still very, very young. He can leave with a good offer. I think Leipzig are willing to talk if they receive a fee closer to €70 million, £61 million. Team Talk revealed last week that United are ready to accelerate their pursuit of Sesko after finally getting the deal for Bryan Mbeumo over the line. Sesko, who stands at an imposing 6 feet 5 inches tall and has been called the Beast, is set to be the subject of a concrete move by United in the coming weeks. Sources state that the Slovenia international is open to joining United even without European football as he feels Amorim can get the side back where they belong. We understand it might take a higher fee to sign Sesko than what Falk is reporting, likely around £67m. The fellow journalist Ben Jacobs has confirmed that Sesko is a target for United alongside other strikers such as Nicholas Jackson and Ollie Watkins. The German press have named 6 exciting qualities Sesko has that could benefit United hugely. Recent reports have stated that Amorim would ideally like United to sign a striker with Premier League experience. The United hierarchy, though, feels Sesko is a better prospect than Jackson, and better value for money than Watkins. Amorim may therefore have to reach a compromise with those above him at Old Trafford.